Get 1997. Question first. 1.1. The sum of the infinite series is 3 plus 1 plus 1 by 3 plus 1 by 3 no square plus dash 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 1 by 3 is to n is, answer is B, that is 9 by 2. Explanation. Let x is equal to 1 by 3. 3 plus 1 plus 1 by 3 plus 1 by 3 square plus dash dash 1 by 3 raised to n is equal to 3 plus in bracket 1 plus x square plus dash dash x raised to n. Now 1 in bracket 1 minus x bracket complete into 1 minus x plus dash 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 x is to n is equal to 1 minus x square plus x square minus x cube plus x cube minus x is to 4 plus dash 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 x is to n minus x is to n plus 1 is equal to 1 minus 1 by 3. The whole is 1 minus 1 by 3 is to n plus 1 is equal to 1 as n tends to infinity. Therefore 1 plus x square plus x is to n is equal to 1 by 1 minus x is equal to 1 by 1 minus 1 by 3 is equal to 3 by 2. Therefore 3 plus 1 plus 1 by 3 plus 1 by 3 no whole square plus dash 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 1 by 3 raised to n is equal to 3 plus 3 by 2 is equal to 9 by 2. 1.2. Limit x tends to infinity x cube plus 1 divided by 2x square plus 80x plus 1 is answer is infinity. Explanation. Limit x tends to infinity x cube plus 1 divided by 2x square plus 80x plus 1 is equal limit x tends to infinity 3x square by 4x plus 80 is equal limit x tends to infinity 6x by 4 is equal to infinity. 1.3. The value of integration of 0 to 5 pi into 2 minus sin x into dx is a greater than 0. Explanation. Integration of 0 to 5 pi into 2 minus sin x into dx is equal to in bracket 2x plus 4x bracket complete into 0 to 5 pi is equal to 10 pi minus 1 is equal to 10 pi minus 2 less than 10 pi minus 2 which is less than 0 greater than 0. 1.4. Given function of xy is equal to x square plus y square comma del square f is 4. Function of xy is equal to x square plus y square. Del square f is equal to del into del bar is equal to z bar in bracket I bar into del by del x plus j bar into del y into bracket I bar into del by del y plus j bar into del by del y bracket complete into x square plus y square is equal to del square by del x square into x square plus del square by del x square into y square is equal to 2x1 plus 3x1 is equal to 4. 1.5. In the system as on a figure, each stream contains 3 components. The maximum number of independent material balances is 6. 1.6. When an unsaturated air water mixture is heated at constant pressure, then the relative humidity decreases. When an unsaturated air water mixture is heated at constant pressure, then the relative humidity decreases. 1.7. For the laminar flow of a fluid in a circular pipe of radius r, the Hazen-Poiseuille equation predicts the volumetric flow rate to be proportional to r/4. For the laminar flow of a fluid in a circular pipe of radius r, the Hazen-Poiseuille equation predicts the volumetric flow rate to be proportional to r/4. 1.8. In the low Reynolds number region, the drag force on a sphere is proportional to V, is the terminal settling velocity. In the low Reynolds number region, the drag force on a sphere is proportional to terminal settling velocity, V. 1.9. The hydraulic diameter of an annulus of inner and outer radii R1 and R0 respectively is, answer is 2 into R0 minus Ri. Explanation: hydraulic radius is equal to 4 into cross-sectional divided by weighted perimeter is equal to 4 into pi R0 square minus Ri no square divided by 2 pi into R0 minus Ri is equal to 2 into R0 minus Ri. 1.10. For crushing of solids, the critical slow stage, the work required for crushing is proportional to the new surface created. Explanation: E is equal to Kr Fc into 1 upon L2 minus 1 upon L1 is equal to 1 upon L2 minus 1 upon L1 proportional to new surface created. 1.11. According to the kinetic theory, the thermal conductivity of a monoatomic gas is proportional to T raised to 0.5. According to kinetic theory, the thermal conductivity of a monoatomic gas is proportional to T raised to 0.5. T raised to 0.5. 1.12. In thermal radiation, for a black body, alpha is equal to 1 and epsilon is equal to 1, where epsilon is emitting, alpha is absorptivity. 1.13. For stripping of a gas in a counter-current stripper, the operating line can lie above or below the equilibrium curve. For a stripping of a gas in counter-current stripper, the operating line can lie above or below the equilibrium curve. 1.14. In a binary distillation, the separation of the components is easier if the relative volatility alpha is greater than 1. In binary distillation, the separation of components is easier if the relative volatility is alpha is greater than 1. 1.15. Molecular diffusivity of a liquid increases with temperature. Molecular diffusivity of a liquid increases with temperature. 1.16. For turbulent mass transfer in pipes, the Sherwood number depends upon Reynolds number RE proportional 0.83. I raised to 0.83. For turbulent mass transfer in pipes, the Sherwood number depends upon Reynolds number S, RE raised to 0.83. 1.17. A reversible liquid phase exothermic reaction is to be carried out in a plug flow reactor. For minimum reactor volume, it should be operated such that the temperature along the length is at the highest allowable temperature throughout. A reversible liquid phase endothermic reaction is to be carried out in a plug flow reactor. For minimum reactor volume, it should be operated such that the temperature along the length is at the highest allowable temperature throughout. 1.18. The residence time distribution of an ideal CSTR is exponential of minus t by tau. The residence time distribution of an ideal CSTR is exponential of minus t by tau. 1.19. A system undergoes change from a given initial state to a given final state either by an irreversible process or by a reversible process. Then delta S1 is always delta SR, where delta S1 and delta R entropy changes of the system for the irreversible and reversible processes. A system undergoes a change from an initial state to a given final state either by an irreversible process or by a reversible process. Then delta S1 is always equal to delta SR. 1.20. The change in gives free energy for vaporization of a pure substance is 0. The change in gives free energy for vaporization of a pure substance is 0. 1.21. The equilibrium constant K for a chemical reaction depends on temperature only. The equilibrium constant K for a chemical reaction depends on temperature only. 1.22. The decomposition of A into B is represented by the exothermic reaction. A reversibly gives to B. To achieve maximum decomposition, it is desirable to carry out the reaction at low P and low T, low temperature. The decomposition of A into B is represented by the exothermic reaction. A reversibly gives to B. To achieve maximum decomposition, it is desirable to carry out the reaction at low pressure and low temperature. 1.23. The transfer function of a PID controller is Kc into 1 plus 1 by tau 1s plus 1 plus tau 1s plus 1 by tau s. 1.23b. The transfer function of PID controller is Kc into 1 plus 1 by tau 1s plus tau ds. Kc into 1 plus tau ds plus 1 by tau 1s. Tau I is the integral time, reset time, and tau d is derivative time. 1.24. The transfer function for a first order process with time delay is b e raised to minus tau ds divided by tau s plus 1. The transfer function for a first order process with time delay is e raised to minus tau ds by tau s plus 1. 1.25. The open loop transfer function of a process is k into s plus 1 into s plus 4 divided by s plus 2 into s plus 3. In the root locus diagram, the poles will be at 1.25c minus 2 and minus 3. The open loop transfer function of a process is k into s plus 1 into s plus 4 by s plus 2 into s plus 3. In the root locus diagram, the poles will be at minus 1 and minus 4. 1.26. For an input forcing function xt is equal to 2t square, the Laplace transform of this function is d 4 by s cube. For an input forcing function xt is equal to 2t square, the Laplace transform of this function is 4 by s cube. 1.27. Proportional controller with a gain of Kc is used to control a first order process. The offset will increase if Kc is increased. A proportional controller with a gain of Kc is used to control a first order process. The offset will increase if Kc is increased. 1.28. Two iron pipes of the same nominal diameter but different schedule numbers will have the same inside diameter. Two iron pipes of the same nominal diameter but different schedule numbers will have the same inside diameter. 1.29. A suitable material construction to use with fuming sulfuric acid is Monel. A suitable material construction to use with fuming sulfuric acid is Monel. 1.30. In distillation columns, the number of bubble caps per tray primarily depends on the allowable gas and liquid velocities. In distillation columns, the number of bubble caps per tray primarily depends on the allowable gas and liquid velocity. 1.31. For cell and tube heat exchanger, with increasing the transfer area, the purchase cost per unit heat transfer area passes through a maxima. For cell and tube heat exchangers, with increasing the heat transfer area, the purchase cost per unit heat transfer area passes through a maxima. Question 2. 2.1. A polynomial fx is sketched below. Fx versus x in order sketched below. In order is, answer is D. The f is sketched below. Order is greater than or equal to 5. There are 4 turns or changes in slopes. 4 turns or changes in slope. 2.2. The cubic equation x cube minus x plus 10 is equal to 0 has a root in the interval. Answer is C, minus 3 and minus 1. The cubic equation x cube minus x plus 10 is equal to 0 has a root in the interval minus 3 and minus 1. 2.3. The Fourier series of the function fx is equal to 1, 0 less than or equal to x less than pi, or fx 0 minus 1 condition से minus pi less than x less than 0 extended periodically. F in bracket x plus 2 pi is equal to fx is a mixed series. The Fourier series of the function fx is equal to 1 condition 0 less than or equal to x less than pi. Fx is 0 minus 1 minus pi less than x less than 0 extended periodically. X plus 2 pi is equal to fx is a mixed series. 2.4. Pure carbon is completely burnt in oxygen. The flue gas analysis is 70% CO2, 20% CO and 10% O2. The percent oxygen used is 0. Pure carbon is completely burnt in oxygen. The flue gas analysis 70% CO2, 20% CO and 10% O2. The percent excess oxygen used is 0. 2.5. A flow sheet is given in figure. 2.5. Fresh feed 100 moles per hour in reactor existing and separator. Separator માંથી products મળે અને separator માંથી recycle R એ recycle થાય. If the single pass once through conversion of A to B is 20%, then the rate of recycle R moles per hour is 500. Explanation we know 100 plus R into 0.8 is equal to R. In bracket 100 plus R bracket comes into 0.8 is equal to R. Therefore R is equal to 400. 2.6. For laminar flow of a fluid through a packed bed of spheres of diameter D, the pressure drop per unit length of the bed depends upon the sphere diameter as D, that is 1 by D square. For laminar flow of a fluid through a packed bed of spheres of diameter D, the pressure drop per unit length of the bed depends upon the sphere diameter as 1 by D square. 2.6. 1 by D square. 2.7. A suspension of glass plates in ethylene glycol has a hinted settling velocity of 1.7 mm per second, while the terminal settling velocity of a single pass bead is in ethylene glycol is 17 mm per second. If the Richardson Jackie hinted settling index is 4.5, the volume fraction of solid in the suspension is, answer is C, that is 0.6. Explanation. We know UC by UOE is equal to 1.7 by 17 is equal to epsilon raised to 4.5. Therefore epsilon is equal to 0.6. 2.8. A 0.5 meter height bead made up of a 1 mm diameter glass spheres, density 2500 kg per meter cube, is to be fluidized by water, density 1000 kg per meter cube. If at the point of incipient fluidization the bed voidage is 40%, the pressure drop across the bed is 2.8. Answer is A, 4.4 kilopascal. Explanation. Minus delta P is equal to 1 minus epsilon into rho s minus rho into L into T is equal to 1 minus 0.4 second bracket into 2500 minus 1000 kg per meter cube into 0.5 meter into 9.81 meter per second square is equal to 4.4 kilonewton per meter square is equal to 4.4 kilopascal. And Jai Shri Krishna.